Okay, now I know it may seem a little late on this, but you know what they say, better late than never, right? So yeah, the last time I talked about this crossover was back in February, and you know the internet time, that may seem like forever ago. So fast forward now that all 4 issues are out, and of course I read them all, and honestly I have to say, this comic was good, except for one thing. So hi, if you come across this video, I'm Zanik, and let's talk about this crossover comic, shall we? In the first video I said this might be the best crossover in my opinion for the Turtles, because both the Turtles and Naruto share a lot in common, from the basic fact that they both series have ninjas in it, which is common sense of course, but on a deep level they both have a common struggle, which they share in the second issue, about how they feel about being an outcast, and yet they still have to protect the people from evil. While reading this comic, you can see a lot of similarities from each characters, from both series, like for example Michelangelo and Naruto. To me, they share the same personality and also being the strongest out their group, where how Sasuke shares similarities between Leonardo and Shredder, where like Leo, they both feel like they have to prove to themselves that they have what it takes to be a strong leader, and just like Shredder, they will also do whatever it takes to gain power, even if it means betray those that helped them along the way. And funnily enough, Shredder shows that literally what I just said in the last issue. And then of course you got Sakura and Ralph. They both share the fact that they both have anger issues, but they feel out of place on the team. But yet when they show up, they show up. And of course Splinter Kakashi's comparison, where they want the best for their son/students. And they also show that when push comes to shove, they will show you why they're in that master spot. With these comparisons, I honestly don't know who shares similarity with Donatello, because the only person I see where he shares similarities is Sai. And in this run, it takes place in Naruto and not Shippuden, of course. Honestly, out of the 4 issues, the first and second issue I like a lot. The first issue is because of the action and the way they introduced the Turtles to Team 7. Plus, Kakashi and Master Splinter showing why they're in the GO status. And the second issue is definitely for the dialogue and how both of them share their origins and backstory and why they chose the path they are in now. And the action in this comic is not bad, but you have to remember, this comic I feel like is aimed towards kids more, because in the third issue, they were knocking out enemy with one-hitter quitters with named super moves, which to me was kind of funny to see Naruto characters do that. But I will say that the art throughout this comic was probably one of my favorites from this 4-issue run. Like, I always wondered how an anime art style like Kishimoto would look in the comic world, and I have to say that both Hendry and Raoul did an amazing job with the line work and color. They made it pop, honestly. Like, while reading at it, I will look at the details and see how well it comes together. After finished reading all 4 issues, I actually enjoyed this comic. Like, I would recommend it to anyone who wants something fun and short to read. The only thing I didn't like, or you could say was a little let down on, is the fact that it didn't happen. And mind you, it's only a nitpick on my end, so you can kind of take it with a grain of salt, but it's where Shredder becomes a mutant monster. I mentioned in the first video how I would love to see Shredder fight Kakashi, and I still think he could have given him a run for his money, because he too is an expert in martial arts, and he runs a clan full of ninjas, so him using chakra would have just been icing on the cake for this run. Now thinking back, they should have probably made it a little longer, and for like a 5 or 6 issues would have been fine, because I really wanted to see Shredder use chakra against the Turtles in Team 7. But at the same time, I get it, he still is a turtle villain at the end, but maybe they didn't want to overextend the comic also. Man, how awesome would it have been if Shredder doing moves like Fireball Jutsu, a Chidori, or at least a Shadow Intimidation technique, or something. But instead in the final comic he becomes a mutant monster, which was cool looking, don't get me wrong, but I really wanted him to show how dangerous he could have been if he did jutsu moves. Now even though he didn't use chakra, his mutant form was still giving Turtles in Team 7 the business, to a point where they had to make an anime moment to where everybody had to help Naruto pull his famous move, the Rasengan, with the help of his Nine Tail, to stop Shredder in his mutant form. But I would have been happy if they made him use chakra first, then he goes into a mutant monster form. It would have gave both Naruto and Ninja Turtles fans, mostly just me, the satisfaction that this one villain can do both. Cause let's be real, Shredder is him. This is the same man that gave Batman a run for his money in their crossover. Honestly, that's the only thing about this comic that I didn't like, cause this comic was really good in my opinion, from the colorful art to some of its funny moments and the story. I really think this is one of the best crossovers that the Turtle has done. And I said that as I've read the other ones, but don't tell nobody, okay? That better little secret. Shh, don't tell nobody. So jokes aside, I think this comic was really good, and if you can find it in your local comic store or Amazon, I say get it, it's worth the read. And before I end this video, let me ask you a quick question right quick. Have you played the beta for the new Sonic Racing game? Man, that game was hella fun. Maybe remember that time I first played Sonic All-Star Racing back on the Xbox One? You know, the one where you race as Danica or Patrick? Yeah, man, that game was fun. I love Sonic Racing, man. But let me know if you played the beta and enjoyed it. And yeah, and that'll be the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more of my content, then hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time.